What's up, YouTube? Similar to here. I got out last night. I was going to pop two of these big balloons. Actually, one of them popped on me before I could light it. But I did get one of them off. At any rate, I had two cameras set up, out in the front yard. This was a 9-inch balloon. And, well, actually, you can see here we caught some pretty cool anomalies. This spiral vortexical patterns are an indicator of a magnetic current, which, means the flow of electrons. There's 1, 2, well, there's 4, 5, and the thing is, both cameras actually picked this up. I got the first frame when we didn't catch the blue before the ignition, but I got another one from the other night that I'm going to show you too, that actually catches the blue blue flash way back in across the yard. So let's go to the next frame, and then you can see the electrical anomalies. And I took pictures of these, so we'll go look at all those pictures too. And then we'll look at it with the second camera, which is actually that one sitting there. Look at it from that camera angle. Look at that. There it is. And you see where we didn't catch the blue beforehand either, but we did catch is the same vortexes of the energy, at a slightly different angle. Plus, notice this blue flame. We'll look at that when we look at the pictures. And then we got the same, it was two cameras. They took the same photographs of the same, nearly almost identical frame rates. We'll listen to it one time. But what I did want to show you here is the fact that I took another YouTuber's videos, and forgive me, put his videos down here. You can watch his pop one frame at a time. Cameras must be slightly different. Doesn't show up exactly the same way mine does, but nonetheless, we still have the same exact things. You can take any one you want. He's using a long tube, a long pole with a flame torch on the end of it. It doesn't go out. It's constant. You see the flames actually touching the balloon the whole time. But it isn't until the balloon decides to detonate that flash, comes up. And it actually starts at the bottom. It always does for some reason. And then it ends up at the top. But he has the same exact, electricity comes out the same way as mine does. This happens almost nearly every one. See, there it is. And you can actually see the light on this tree and that automobile and everything else. The ground. That balloon's clearly still whole till the next frame. This happens nearly on every one of his too. See, it comes from the bottom first. Whatever this is, and then generally it goes out through the top of it, nearly every one of them. If the camera catches it, it'll sit at the bottom first, and it'll end up with it coming out of the top last. So now you got a whole frame here where the whole frame's messed up, but the balloon's clearly still one piece. So I'll have to get out and set a few of these off too myself, but I want to do them at a lot closer. Of course, I think we'll get better pictures than this. At any rate, you can see this. There's another one that the whole frame is clearly something happened, but the balloon didn't pop yet. So let's go take a look at these pictures. Now this is from the first camera, looking back at the second camera, which is that's actually the good camera, so I got it closer. Takes better pictures. Anyways, the next frame, we catch the blue coming from the bottom as it detonates. Again, it's 30 frames per second, so I mean, it's at different time intervals when the camera's running. And then the next one we see these spiraling vortexes coming out all around, and then the blue is at the top. And notice it's in two pieces, and it's a little wider on the right than it is on the left, because that's important when we look at this from this other camera. because you'll see that this almost the exact point in time they took both cameras took the same picture. And then there's the third frame. You have these anomalies of electricity that are not necessarily going in any direction what to say. Some of them go towards the ground, but some of them go in a different direction. And then that, as it dissipates, you see the little orbs around. And there's also some compression signatures in the other camera. And that's the last frame of it. Now what I wanted you to see is the back of this camera here. You can actually see the detonation. In that frame there's nothing. In this frame the camera changes a little bit. And then there. You actually see the detonation in the camera after the actual event. That was odd that this camera would see that. Now here's the first camera, and this is, you can see the balloon's hole, and there's the torch. And then we had detonation, which we did not catch the blue flash before it came up. According to the frame rate, it's going to be faster than 30 frames per second. But in this frame, we catch the same blue flash, which is wider on the right than it is on the left, at a slightly different angle. Both cameras are almost aimed at it. But you also see the same, vortexes of magnetism, which is exactly what that is. All through that. So that's cool. Thought it was pretty cool. And then here's the same anomalies on this camera. The one up there, the one down by the table. Several little orbs around. I think that's probably some of the balloon. You have to remember that at the first sign of detonation, the balloon's gone. The balloon left at this point. And I've watched these balloon pieces fly off and in the slow motion, and they even they're way gone by this point. The balloon's several feet away, each piece is. At this point, balloon's nowhere around this at all. And then here we show the third frame of this, and you can see the compression signatures in the whole picture there. Here again. Which is a signature of high magnetism, is what it shows on Soho. Now we go look at some, see if we can find, we go keep going. Now here's some I took earlier, a couple of weeks ago. You can clearly see the blue flash at the time of detonation. But notice how the blue flash stops up here. But it's all the way continuous to the bottom of the camera frame. And then then you have all the electrical anomalies, which will actually be seen from this far back. And this frame, you see the blue is just started to come out of the bottom of the camera before detonation. That's the lighter burning back there. And then the second frame, you see the blue going right out of the top. So there's definitely something going on. I mean, it's not just my camera doing this, or in my yard. It's doing it in other people's videos as well. So I thought I'd throw this one out real quick. I'm gonna make a little Faraday cage to set to hook a capacitor to it, see if I could measure some of this or something, see if it's the same amount as what I'm putting into it. Because I know the electricity that we're putting into it is not staying in the water. It's actually staying in the gas, and we're seeing it as the gas turns back into water again. As I look into this, man, I ain't about to go too much further without the money. I got my little retirement deal, and that's about all I got there. And I hate to ask. I'm not even going to ask, but if everybody wants to pitch in a little bit and donate, that'd be good. I'll put that button back up, and of course we'll put the tally down there, and everybody will see exactly what we do with it. But that sure could use the help with it. There ain't no doubt about that. I've been asked, a few people PM me about it, and I know there's going to be several who just going to beat me to death over it, but it is what it is. I can't, I'd be suspicious of somebody that had that kind of money and didn't have nothing else to do. I'd be more suspicious of that than somebody sitting there dead broke trying to do it. But anyway, I'll throw that button back up there. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate everybody helping out, and y'all just hang in there, because this is not the end by far. I'm telling you, I said it before, I say it again. It ain't the end. It may be for many, many people, but it ain't the end of humanity by any means. So with that said, peace and love. Big heads up.